Calc AB explained easy enough for a kid named Simon Shang and Matt Kaung to understand. First unit of Calc AB are limits. So let's explain what a limit is. So easy, a kid named Matthew Kaung can explain it. So play with me with this scenario. So Matthew Kaung has some money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. This Matt Kaung, he has about $50 in the bag. Simon over here, he's pretty poor. So Simon's a poor little jit, and he needs to get a $25 haircut, but he's poor. So he goes up to his friend Matt and asks $25 from Matt. And he strikes a deal and says, Simon says to Matt, I will give you back my money in due time after my haircut, and I promise you that I will give you my money back.
Stop the cap!
On BD, he says, unquote. So now Matthew has $25 left, and Simon got his haircut. Now here's the thing. Simon is still poor, and he needs Matt's financial aid to help him with his endeavors and financial journeys.
What a fool!
Sigma.
But here's the catch. Matt Kaung isn't forever rich, and he needs money too. So Matt Kaung puts a mental limit on his brain. Get it?
No limit.
He puts a mental limit and says he knows that Simon might ask for more money, or other people might ask for more money. So he put a mental limit and says, if anyone, or my money in fact, gets lower than $15, I will crash out. Yes, crash out. Yeah, no, crash out. So Simon also knows that Matt is the type to crash out, and he's not nonchalant like that. So Simon has to be smart about this and borrow money from Matt to keep on his non-crash out Mr. Mean Guy mode. Now Simon's a poor little jit, and he's a starving part little jit with a mid part, and he needs to buy food. Well, what do? Well, the fact of the matter is that Simon will be asking Matt for more money, but he'll be smart about it. What Simon will do is ask less money from Matt, so he doesn't make Matt crash out. So what Simon asked for is, instead of $10, so instead of $25 for a trash mid part, Simon tells Matt, could he borrow $5? Could a bro borrow $5, he asks. And Matt reluctantly gave him the money, knowing that as long as his money doesn't reach 15 or lower, he will not crash out. So Simon goes to a Mexican stand and buys tacos for $5. But matter of fact, he got one taco for $5, and it wasn't really a taco, it was one tortilla and a bunch of beef. And he ate a $5 taco that wasn't really even a taco. And this got Matt slightly mad. So mad, in fact, he might about to crash out. Simon sees this and realizes he needs to be more careful before Matt crashes out. Now let's write a limit and a function for this situation. As the limit of x approaches, let's just say some number a of f of x, if this limit equals 15, I think you guys know what that means. Crash out. Now, the thing is, Simon doesn't know that Matt is going to crash out at $15. But he sees that Matt's slowly and slowly getting more mad the more money he's taking from him. But he's not crashed out yet. So, for Simon to be smart and play it safe, he needs to find a way to find out what A is, or Matt, what is this limit equal to in order for Matt to crash out. So Simon doesn't cross the limit and Matt crashes out. So Simon needs to get to make Simon needs to get so close to whatever A is that equals f of A equals 15. He needs to get so close that he doesn't actually crash out and they're still besties and buddies. Alright? Simon needs to be on Matt's good side, not his mean side. So for whatever A is, Simon needs to approach A at a very, very, very slow rate in order to not make Matt crash out. He needs to find a number less than A where f of that number is like, in order for that number to be like 15 and 1 cent, or else he will make Matt crash out. So what should Simon do? Well, Simon in this case, like a poor legit, he is still requesting money, but you know what he will do? He's gonna request less and less more money. So what Simon does is play it safe, and he asks for only $2.50. He's been decreasing his money more and more, and he's trying to see how much of a difference does it make that Matt gets more and more angry. So he asked Matt for $2.50 to buy what? He wants to buy a girl, the HUD, a gift. But Simon's not good at gifts, and he's a poor legit, so the girl is not even expecting a good gift. So Simon knows that, and so therefore, using his AP Psych knowledge, manipulation, knowing that this girl won't expect much, he will use the money to buy as little as she will expect, while also manipulating Matt to not crash out. This is all a part of Simon's genius manipulative plan. So Simon will take $2.50 from Matt and sees how much closer he will be to crashing out. Guys, Matt is so close to crashing out. His eyes and eyebrows have fully become clear. His mouth looks like a mustache. He is frowning so much. Simon just spent $2.50 of Matt's money on a taco plushie. Now it looks like a pizza. And the Huz is not even happy. So this guy he's poor with a mid part, with Huz that's unhappy, and Matt's about to crash out. But at least he's not crashed out, and his girl, I don't know, probably doesn't have one, but you know. Anyways, so Simon sees he's definitely itching very close to Matt's mental limit of how much money he wants to have left, so Matt can buy another perm. That is also $15 for some reason. Guys, I think Matt's perm is a little less expensive than that mid part. Seeing that Matt is itching itching to get on that switch. He's fiending to be on that switch and switch cheese on Simon. Simon decides, you know what? I think I can gamble a little more. How about I take $1.50? See if he'll finally crash out or his eyebrows will slightly get more curved. Simon is only testing the limits of Matthew's crash out. So Simon will take $1.50 to buy. So Simon will use that $1.50 to bet on LeBron James because he promised Kwon Ming that he will spend $1.50 betting on Kwon Ming. And spoiler, he did not win his money back. Holy crap, Matt almost activated his Sharingan and switched down Simon's game. This is how bad he's about to crash out. Matt is $1 off from barely affording his new perm. Matt is considering taking out Simon. And Simon is not considering paying back Matt anytime soon.
Oh my god, bro.
After that miserable loss on the LeBron James parlay of $1.05, Simon realizes that was a bad idea. And now, not only did he lose $1.5 and gain nothing from it, he also has Matt about to crash out, itching to shoot him down. So, Simon knows it. His limit, Matt's limit for how much money he wants left is around $15. And you know what Simon does? He's a slick signal. He needs $1. Simon needs $1 to buy Arizona from the CVS. But he knows that Matt's limit is around $15. And he knows that once he crosses it, he's done. So, a smart play from Simon. He knew a very psychological trick. Did you know that retailers put the price of $1 odd items as 0.99 cents to make it seem cheaper to the consumer? Well, guess what Simon's about to do? He's about to ask for 99 cents from Matt so he doesn't go over the limit. And Simon knows it's 15, not only because Matt's about to crash out, but it's not something like 15.50 because Matt would crash out super duper close. Because Matt would be so close to crashing out, he would be reaching for his blicky. So that is why he knows it's 15. Because of human psychology, he knows humans like clean numbers, and he can either assume it's $15.50, $15.25, or $15. Now, what is Matt gonna use 25 cents for? And it's not 50 either, because he's not crashed out enough. So, Simon deduces it's 15 and asks for 99 cents from Matt. Matt's about to switch down Simon, gives the 99 cents knowing it's not $1. Look at this. It's magnificent. Simon was able to afford a mid part, a plushie for the Huzz, a parlay that went nowhere, and an Arizona from Matt. All without Matt having to crash out. Now obviously, Matt will crash out eventually when his money isn't getting paid, but since this is being done in a short time span, Matt's not about to crash out yet. And so, knowing that Matt has more than $15, Simon is in the clear. Matt, so close to crashing out, he's basically reaching for his blicky, leaves off to get his perm, and finally he is happy because he can afford the perm. Isn't Matt's smile so wide and happy? He is really happy. Matt is so happy that he still has 1 cent in his wallet while having a perm, and eventually he may or may not get $15 back from Simon. Now let's try to show this situation graphically. Now have a look at this graph real quick. As I've marked here, this red zone means crash out. Anything below this line, 15, y equals 15, that's just a crash out right there. This is crash out zone. Now Matt, he started off with $50 right here. And remember, Simon borrowed $25. So we can mark 25 right here. 25. And then Simon borrowed another amount. He borrowed around $10. So we were right. Wait, no he didn't. He borrowed around $5, so we have 20. Then he borrowed $2.50, 17.5. Then he borrowed $1, 16. And over here is a very tiny 15.1. 01, I meant. So, function to time graph. Now, exactly how this may look depends on many things, like if Matt received any other payments beforehand. But we need to be certain that this is a function where Simon is manipulating Matt in a way where he's not trying to get to 15. So I'm graphing something for Simon to show him what he should be doing in terms of Matt's money in order to not have him crash out. So what should Simon's graph look like on how much money he should be taking over time? Well, there's many ways he could have done this, but realistically, he would be doing something like this. Although he took money in a linear, non-linear, or even rational function way, let's just say this is time in like seconds or something like that, or even days. Now, Simon didn't take money over time, but let's just assume how this would look like for Simon. Matt's money being taken away in $25. Let's say every day Simon asks for money, and this graph shows basically every hour Simon's taking Matt's money away. Very dramatic, yes, but this is how Simon should approach Matt's money, which is like this. Simon should be taking less and less money the more time goes on. The more days go on, the more days Simon's hungry and needs money. Simon should be taking the money in the beginning at a greater rate, and slowly but surely as he reaches Matt's crash out zone, Simon will cruise around it, never reaching 15 until somehow he pays it off or something like that. So, going back to this limit, if this was a graph to help Simon, this A would be an infinity of f of x equals 15. Never have Simon go past $15 of Matt's money. As you can see from the graph, as Simon, in some amount of time, well actually this should be a t not an x, but you know. So as t approaches infinity, Matt will eventually crash out, but until then, Simon shall ask for less and less money over time. Now let's graph what Matt would look like. What this crash out graph looks like for Matt. So Matt started off with $15 on the first day. Everyone can agree on that. But on the second day, Matt has only $25. So let's have a point right here. The third day, Matt only has $20. Let's do it like that. Then he has $17.50 for another day, $16 on one day, and 15 cents on the other day. Now, let's have a little thingy. This is the day of Matt's perm plug. Okay? So if Matt ever had money less than 15, like this bar down here in the crash out zone before this asymptote, or it's not technically, it's just some hypothetical barrier. Let's say that if Matt got here, he would have crashed out instantly, wouldn't he? But he didn't, because Simon knew to play a different game. Let me graph Simon in brown. So Simon took a graph that looked like this, and Matt's money in reality decreased in green. So Simon knows not to crash out, because if Simon took this route in, let's say blue, by the time Matt is supposed to get a perm, Matt has little to no money. Simon shouldn't act and get money like how the blue graph is shown, because if we see the limit, Matt's money should not be lower than 15. So Simon has to play around with limits in order to not make Matt crash out. Now, after this day, Matt is pretty broke and is at $15 at 1 cent right here. But he didn't crash out because only this spot is crash out zone. Do you now understand what a limit is? How you can use this in real life? Leave a comment down below.